God, this place fucking stinks! It's a trash heap, dumbass. We all produce trash. Have you ever spent time with the uncomfortable idea of where that trash goes and what it means to throw something away? Well, that's what this show is about. This is GACHIAKUTA. This is Rudo. He just fell from a million feet in the air because he was falsely accused of a crime. The crime of killing his own father.
Wait, how did that happen?
You may be wondering. Well, let's start with Before we get started with episode 1, let's see how Mal describes the show. The inhabitants of a certain wealthy town think nothing of throwing objects away. However, their waste is priceless to Rudo, a resident of the town's slums. Despite the constant warnings from his adoptive father, Regto, Rudo spends his days searching for reusable materials that would otherwise be sent to the great disposal area known as the pit. The pit is also used as a punishment for criminals. If you're dropped, you never return. Now, aside from Rudo almost getting switched down for picking through some trash, the first episode starts off on a good note. Rudo sells junk he repurposed from digging through trash, he talks to his crush, Chiwa, and Rudo hits a little Nika pose.
Dang, is that Nika?
However, there is mystery in the air. We don't know who this guy is, but we're gonna find out very, very soon. Some stuff happens, yada yada yada. Rudo gives his crush a present, and then... Oh shit. Damn, that's a big ass sword. Ooh. Rudo's father has been stabbed. Yeah, I wasn't keeping that one guy a mystery for that long. The entire show starts off because of him. Then... Rudo is looking around for somebody, anybody who will defend him and clear his name. And then he spots Chiwa. His longtime friend, his crush. He just gave her a present. Surely she must have something to say. She deserts him. I think of this desertion as a sort of death of a character. It's Rudo's first loss of someone who cares about him. Well, besides his dad. And then... He's cut. He's falling. And here we see how much of a D1 crash out Rudo is. Oh my god. The first time I watched this, I thought he was a Discord mod or a Redditor in the comments. He would not stop crashing out even as he was about to die.
Spineless piles of shit who can't even piss without permission. You're just worthless bags of flesh. You're all better off dead. Don't you dare think you're rid of me. I'm coming back. And I'll kill you all. Do you hear me?
Oh, fuck, I opened NordVPN. Shit! So now Rudo's in the pit, and it is not what he thought it was. While he knew there would be trash, what he didn't expect was this. This is a trash beast. Rudo struggles with the toxic air, the strength of the trash beast, and low-budget animation. The fuck was that? Didn't even finish throwing it. Son, he didn't even finish throwing the thing. Then a guy named Engine comes along.
俺はエンジン。
Engine?
しがない掃除屋だ。
Like a car engine?
And saves the day. But Engine did all that with an umbrella? The power system in GACHIAKUTA has to do with something called vital instruments. I want you to picture this. Imagine you're fucking gay and watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Take the stands from JoJo, but the stand is an item that you really, really like and take real good care of. Get rid of the homoeroticism and give it a punk vibe. You've got GACHIAKUTA. Also, they live on a trashy planet. Anyway, after saving Rudo, Engine brings him to some local human traffickers. As you do.
Oh, damn.
さっきのじゃせっかくの天界人が逃げちまうよ。
Here we get to see our favorite D1 crash out. Well, crash out.
Damn.
As well as a pretty awesome power-up moment. Wow, that's really cool. But Rudo, you must be really tired and probably injured from all the events that just occurred, right? He should visit the doctor's office, right? That sounds like Frieza. Who's the Similar to when I first watched Dandadan and heard Turbo Granny's voice, I recognized some voices here in GACHIAKUTA as well. This old lady, yes, that's a woman, has the same voice actor as Frieza. This guy has Blackbeard. This chick has Mayuri from Steins Gate. It does kind of pull me out of the immersion because most of these animes are ones that I keep up with or watched recently. Anyway, on to the cleaners are people who fight trash beasts, and they're also our main ragtag of characters. The first one we meet is Engine. There's also the desk lady who is just looking through a Playboy magazine at the front desk.
Fuck. You looking at porn? Whoa! Oh, hell no.
Rio, who plays with Rudo's hair, should have been me, it should have been me, it should have been me, it should have been me, and talks like an absolute freak when she speaks to Rudo.
金持ちしか食べれなくて。あるよ。あるよ。
Yo, this shit was much freakier in the dub, bro.
That stuff was just for rich people.
We've got some. Wanna taste?
And great googly moogly, she's in my bed. How old is she again? There's also Zanka, who is as much of a D1 crash out as Rudo is. But underneath all the silly funny quirks shoved in your face is a story so real that it relates to our everyday lives. Wasn't that deep? Oh my god, I'm so smart. The story of trash. Do people up there know if there's people down here? If they do, why do they send trash down anyway? On the ground, there's trash beasts, raiders, toxic air and sludge, yet Spherites, the people where Rudo came from, continue to send trash down like normal. Hey, that's kind of like real life. Rudo, however, looks at trash in a positive light, as something to fix up and be reused, not discarded. Rudo cares so much for objects that are usually thrown away that he literally cried over them. I mean, how often do you think of the value of everyday things like the burger you eat, the pen you write with, the bed you sleep on? It all came from someone doing or making something from somewhere in the world. There is a history to everything. When you use that object, it adds to its history. Even where it sits in your room adds to its meaning. People like Rudo and the cleaners find the potential in their vital instruments. Because Rudo puts so much stock into how much he cares for each item, the item he's held onto the longest, his gloves, becomes his vital instrument. His gloves let him use trash as weapons, but probably not in the way you're thinking. The way he uses an item depends on how he interprets the purpose of an item. For example, a keyboard is used for typing, a nail gun is used to shoot nails, but what is a talisman used for? The interesting thing is that Naruto's ability offers a power system that doesn't stay stagnant. He can't just summon a bigger Rasengan or yell louder to power up more like in Dragon Ball Z. He has to actually think about how to use different items and understand that each one has unique properties. In his first fight against a villain, all he has on him is the talisman that his friend left him, a talisman that was prayed to every day to make sure that they get back home safe. How do you fight with that?
Rudo's power as he cares. He's not turning objects into vital instruments.
What the fuck is this thing? After seeing it in action, it's explained that because of how Rudo interprets the purpose of the talisman, the weapon he makes out of it makes sure that he stays unharmed from anything that may try to harm him. It's the ultimate defense. While that doesn't do much for offense, Rudo has that covered. Holy shit, is he punching a woman? Whoa, Rudo, chill out. Okay, let's just move on to... I think the first thing you notice while watching the anime is the sound design of the show. While the height of my knowledge for the sound design is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the soundtrack and sound design is so bold and in your face. The show is raw. You feel the rage, the emotion, the drag of literally living in a trash heap, and that's what you need to match the atmosphere of the visuals. Also, side note, the song you're listening to right now was made by a VTuber, Mori Calliope. I just found that interesting. The song is good though. The art style and the sound go hand in hand, as they should, because the studio behind GACHIAKUTA is Studio Bones, and they have some good looking shows under their belt. The art style is so characteristic. It's sharp and sort of a scrappy punk style. The hairstyles, the scrappy trashiness of their living situation, the art, the graffiti, the music for the openings and the endings, the soundtrack. This is not by mistake. Everything in this show has been meticulously crafted, so much so that they have designated artists for the graffiti that you see on the walls.
漫画自体は自分が作ってるんですけど、絵だけで表現したい時とかにグラフィティ入れてほしいなとか、キャラクターの総柄のデザインとかバックボーンがあるよというか。
For example, the attention to detail in the background alone is amazing. They could have left the pillars here as just plain broken down pillars, but they chose to put the graffiti here. Whether that was for the love of the game or because the art director was giving them the Mappa treatment will remain unknown. Nonetheless, the flashbacks have their own style. The soundtrack fucking rocks, and one of them sounds like Iris out from Chainsaw Man. This is the type of anime you want to listen to with headphones because they do a really good job with the sound design.
ネチネチしとるからワンパンで落ちるんやぞ。
じゃあ君もだな。
Whoa. Bro, the sound design is crazy. Directional sound is wild.
じゃあ君もだな。
My God, he's right there. I can feel him.
And hot damn, is that Black Granny Seiko? Oh no, it's just the desk lady. Still though, goddamn. But with sound design and art as good as this, the characters and the story have to match that level of quality. We don't want another My Hero Academia situation. Let's talk about the villain. In episode 6, we're introduced to a guy named Jabber. He is a direct contrast to everything Rudo learned from his dad. Jabber enjoys violence, fighting, and he's a freak who wants to be spanked with a paddle. Like me. Everything that Rudo has been trying to get away from all his life. This is a good villain, someone who challenges the main character's ideals.
Freaky ass niggas.
Another big bad guy shows up and asks Rudo if he wants to take down the sphere with him. Rudo's goal has been revenge this whole time. Surely this aligns with what he wants. Right? Rudo was given an offer to join the cleaners so that he could get information on how to get back to the sphere. Nothing more, nothing less. Back in episode 4, Rudo is training on how to clear out trash beasts and ends up coming to the revelation that this isn't just a game. Clearing trash beasts is a dangerous job, and the people here are risking their lives every day. He changes his original simplified goal of just lending a hand to get what he wants to pulling his weight around and not being a burden, while also getting what he wants. Then, this guy comes along.
What was your reason for joining the cleaners?
To get back up to the sphere.
And he is very good at casting doubt into our main character,
And what made you think you could trust anything they told you?
as a villain should do. He counters Rudo's ideals, but in a different way from Jabber. He attacks with his words rather than action. He uses his intellect to crack down on Rudo. I say that, but he also pulls the same move that Tyler the Creator did.
衝撃を与える
Oh my fucking god. Oh. Is this Tyler the Creator, bro? What the fuck? He ate the whole thing?
Towards the end of the season, after taking mental beatings from this guy, Rudo evolves and changes his goal again. This time to having fun with everyone while happily getting his revenge. It's nice to see a main character that actually progresses as a person and doesn't just stay stagnant for the whole story. I realized that a lot of the anime I watch has to do with people doing what Oh my fucking god. I realized that a lot of the anime that I watch has to do with people doing what they want, when they want, and how they want. The allure of freedom. As most animes come from Japan, a culture built around working yourself to the bone, the themes make sense. I mean, One Piece and Steins Gate are two series that I love to death and watched recently, and their entire premise is about eccentric characters in an oppressing world trying to break free from an oppressive system. While Rudo himself may not be as goofy as Luffy or as wacky as the mad scientist Ho-Oh in Kyoma, he's surrounded by them. You are a product of your environment after all. And much like the world government or the constricting world lines, Rudo and his gang are starting to figure out the mysteries of the world they live in. How did the Spherites get up in the air? What is the Watchmen Who killed Rudo's dad? What is the border that Rudo crossed and why does it kill people? What does Rudo's last name mean? I don't know. I implore you to go watch the anime and read the manga if you want. Whatever tickles your fancy.